Namaskar. Hello friends. Today's discussion topic is the order Takakiales, genus Takakia. In previous lecture, we are already study of the order Polytracheales. There are two genera containing Pogonatum. Another one is the Polytracheales. Next order is the order Takakiales, containing the genera Takakia. The systematic classification of Takakia according to the Higuchi and Zhang in 1998 after discovery of Anthridia and Sporophyte. Outline of the classification of the Takakia. The division Bryophyta, class Bryopsida. All of you know that also known as the Bryopsida class is also known as the Bryophyta and Masai. Subclass Takakiidae. Order Takakiales. Family Takakiaceae. Genus Takakia. And species Lepidozyoids. Lepidozyoids. Is that clear? Next part. The family Takakiaceae. The family Takakiaceae is represented by single genus is a Takakia, which include two species, Takakia lepidozoides and Takakia ceratophylla. There are two most very important species. One is the Takakia lepidozoides, another one is the Takakia ceratophylla. According to Smith and Davison in 1993 and Higuchi and Zhang 1994. There are two species, one is the Takakia lepidozoides, another one is the Takakia ceratophylla. Next, habitats. Habitats means its occurrences. All of you know that its natural habitats are rocky areas. They are found in the rocky areas, found in the cold deserts. Takakiaceae are plant always found in the cold, temperate and Arctic alpine oceanic climates. They are found in the Alpic, alpine and also found in the cold region. It is found in the China, India, Nepal and United States. Also found in the cosmopolitan nature, worldwide distribution. All of you know that the Takakiaceae family is a cosmopolitan nature, also found in the China, India, Nepal and United States. The second species of the Takakia ceratophylla was reported from the pools in the Sikkim in eastern Himalayas, in also found in India at an altitude of 3080 mm above the sea level. Next, the both species are grow in cool region, moist places, wet shady places at higher altitude. All of you know that shady places, cool region and moist places in higher altitude. And in India found in the Sikkim region, eastern Himalaya in above the high altitude levels. Some species they are hagrophytes, the presence in the watery conditions, so called as hagrophytes. Next, habit is also known as the gametophytic plant body. Habits means its body structure, and gametophytic plant body means they are differentiated into root, stem, and leaves, so called as the gametophytic plant body. Rise in bryophyte containing gametophytic plant body differentiated into rhizoids, leafy stem, and leaf is called as the gametophytic plant body. It is a bright green in color and is differentiated into cylindrical branched creeping leafless rhizome. Is differentiated into cylindrical branched, the having presence of the branches, shape is cylindrical, creeping and leafless rhizome. differentiated rhizome like structure from which arises the aerial, erect, radially symmetrical leaf shoots. Shoot different characters such as the aerial, erect and radially symmetrical leafy shoots. The gametophore about 1 to 15 centimeter in tall. Height of the plant species in a 1 to 15 centimeter of the height. Is that clear? Gametophore. Next, the both rhizome or leafy axis are completely divides of the rhizoids. This is this is a diagrammatic feature of the Takakia differentiated into aerial erect leaf axis. This is showing the leafy areas and erect leafy axis. On the presence of the on axis presence of the leaves like structure. This is a colorful diagram of the Takakia. This is sporophytic plant body, sporophytic plant body, and on axis of the leaves are arises in the tip regions. Is that clear? Next part is the reproductions. The vegetative reproductions by the fragmentation. Accidentally, thallus is breaked in Takakiales. They after these thallus are moved to another places favorable substrata. Then develop the new individual. This is called as the fragmentation. Fragments means tukda hone, breakdown of the plant body. Fragmentation. Next one is the aerial branches taking part of the vegetative propagation. Some aerial branches, erect branches, aerial branches. This part of the taking of the vegetative propagations. These part are taking way to new locality. म्हणजे जे in branches taking part of the vegetative propagation, this part of the way this part are taken into new locality, either wind as well as water, where they are propagated uh, and form a new populations. For example, fragmentation असेल, for example vegetative branches असतील, area taking part of the aerial branches, they are moved to new localities such as through wind असेल, water असेल, where they are propagated, their form of the new populations. For is that clear? म्हणजे ज्या ठिकाणाहून फ्रॅगमेंटेशन म्हणजे तुकडा होणे, त्या ब्रायोफाईटचं जर काय एखादा ॲक्सिडेंटली थॅलस कसा ब्रेक झाला किंवा ॲक्सिडेंटली गॅमेटोफायटिक प्लांट बॉडी ब्रेक झाली, त्यापासून ते गॅमेटोफायटिक प्लांट बॉडी काय होणार आहे, ते टाप पार्ट ते घेणार आहे कशाचा, की त्यापासून ते न्यू इंडिव्हिज्युअल फॉर्मेशन करणार आहे. तसंच थ्रू काय वॉटर असेल किंवा विंड असेल, हा वारा असेल, त्यापासून ते फेवरेबल सबस्ट्रॅटावरती ते काय होणार आहे, तर त्याची प्लांट बॉडी तिथं एंटर होणार आहे आणि एंटर झाल्यामुळे ती प्लांट बॉडी काय होणार आहे, त्या ठिकाणी त्याची नवीन पॉप्युलेशन म्हणजे त्याची नवीन प्लांट बॉडी डेव्हलप करण्याचं काम काय करणार आहे, तर हे व्हेजिटेटिव्ह प्रोपगेशन बाय दी व्हेजिटेटिव्ह थॅलस सच ॲज दी रूट रायझर्ड्स असतील, क्रिपिंग रायझर्ड्स असतील, ॲज वेल ॲज दी लिफी शूट्स असतील, ॲज वेल ॲज दी स्टेम ॲक्सिस असेल. तीन पार्ट ज्यावेळेस आपले कशामध्ये रिप्रोडक्शनमध्ये हेल्प करतात, रायझॉइड्स, स्टेम अँड लीव्ज, so called as the vegetative propagation. Is that clear? Vegetative propagation completed. Fragmentation as well as the taking aerial branches taking of the part of the vegetative propagation, and this through the wind असेल, water असेल, through the new populations and from the new population. Okay, next part is sexual reproduction. Sexual reproductions, it rather rare. Sexually it dioecious. Dioecious means all of you know that the male plant body are different, female plant body are different, as well as the male plant body producing organ are the different thallus. This is known as the dioecious. Monoecious means male reproductive plant body, female reproductive plant body are develops on the single thallus, individual thallus. This is known as the monoecious. आणि Takakiales is majority कसे तर reared sexually reproductions. In कसे dioecious plant body कसे तर dioecious, male plant is a separate, female plant is a separate. Is that clear? Also known as the heterothallic in nature. All of you know that the heterothallic dioecious is a two term, and two term same functional. Is that clear? Next, in external morphology, there are no difference among the sterile male or female plant. स्टराईल असेल, मेल प्लांट असेल किंवा फिमेल प्लांटमध्ये त्याच्यामध्ये असं काही डिफरन्स नाही आहे. द ॲब्सेन्स ऑफ दे आर नो डिफरन्स ऑफ दी स्टराईल प्लांट बॉडी, मेल प्लांट बॉडी अँड फिमेल प्लांट्स. Sterile means they are cannot be involved in the reproduction, so called as the sterile plant body. Male plant body means they are producing the only one individual organ, such as the antheridium. This is called as the male plant body, and female plant body is called as they are develops into the female reproductive organ, such as the archegonial, so called as the dioecious plant, so called as the heterothallic plant. Is that clear? Next, the antheridium. Antheridium. They are is found in axillary position. Antheridiums are develops as well as arises from the axillary position. 3 to 4 lobed leaves. In 3 to 4 lobed leaves, lobed म्हणजे त्याला covering of the leaves, so called as the 3 to 4 lobed leaves. They are developed into centrally as well as the axillary position. Axillary म्हणजे apical position ला. Is that clear? Lobed leaves, axillary position of antheridium is the same as in calobrials as well as the younger mammals. Antheridium is the same as well as calobrials. All of you know that the calobrials orders and younger mammals orders. Younger mammals and calobrials order. Antheridium is the same. Antheridium produce the anthrozoids and archegonium produce the egg cells. They are mating to each other after fertilization and then producing the sexual the spore. They convert it into sporophytic plant body. This is a complete life cycle we are already studied in previous orders. All of you know that detailed study in previous order मध्ये आपण ते काय केले स्टडी केलेले. Is that clear? Next, archegonia. Antheridia is a male reproductive organ. They are produce the anthrozoids, and archegonia is a female reproductive organ. They produce the egg cells. The antheridia female plants produce a single archegonium. Female plants produce a single archegonium. 2 to 3 irregularly scattered archegonia. Scattered archegonia means all of you know that the in case of the higher angiospermic plant containing the two divisions, one is the monocot, another one is the dicot. Monocot and dicot, the vascular bundle arrangement of the vascular bundles in a dicot containing vascular bundles are arranged in a ring manner, and monocot containing the vascular bundle are arranged in a scattered manner. Scattered म्हणजे ओबडधोबड म्हणजे कसे ते त्या सेंट्रलला कसे असतात तर स्कॅटर्ड फॉर्ममध्ये काय झालेले असतात तर वॅस्क्युलर बंडल अरेंज झालेले असतात इन कंडिशन ऑफ द मोनोकॉट. ॲज इट इज सेम सच ॲज द स्कॅटर्ड फॉर्म मीन्स द आर्चिगोनिया आर प्रोड्युस्ड इरेग्युलरली इन स्कॅटर्ड फॉर्म. म्हणजे फॉर एक्झाम्पल ज्यावेळेस स्कॅटर्ड फॉर्म म्हणजे जे आपण जे काय म्हणतो आपण त्याला की वेगवेगळ्या ठिकाणी काय होतात तर ते स्कॅटर्ड फॉर्ममध्ये काय होतात आर्चिगोनिया ग्रो होतात. इज दॅट क्लिअर? नेक्स्ट, द आर्चिगोनिया इज नेक्ड. आपल्याला आर्चिगोनियल ब्रँच कसे दिसे डोळ्याने दिसू शकते. नेकेड without any protective structure around it. All of you know that the sterile organ present, the archegonia are covered, generally covered, the sexual reproductive organ generally covered, the sterile jacket layer. All of you know that bryophyte is a typical characteristic of the sterile jacket layer producing the sexual reproductive organs. In this condition of the Takakia, they are completely absent. They are complete without protection of the sterile jacket layer as well as sterile specialized structure sterile or around it. Is that clear? Absent of the sterile jacket layer, sterile specialized structure. Large in green in after mature is a large green color and young are stalked. लार्ज म्हणजे मॅच्युरेशनला कसे असतात तर ग्रीन इन कलर अँड यंग कंडिशनला कसे असतात तर आर्चिगोनिया इज जनरली स्टॉक्ड. दे हॅविंग प्रेझेन्स ऑफ द स्टॉक. इज दॅट क्लिअर? नेक्स्ट कॅरेक्टरिस्टिक, the after the anthrozoids and egg cells mating to each other, they are occur in a fertilization. After fertilization, these condition they are produced in the zygote, and zygote is converted into the develop into the sporophytic plant body. Is that clear? This structure in previous lecture we are already studied. Next one is the sporophytic plant body. The sporophyte are divided into three parts. One is the foot, another one is seta, and last one is the capsule. Different sporophytic plant body are divided into foot, seta, and capsule. Foot. Foot is a well developed, tapered end, tapered into a apex. In this structure, the tapering end into the apex like I say tapering end, well developed and penetrating into the gametophytic plant body. Why they are penetrating? Because the absorption of the water, minerals and food material, so called as penetrating into the gametophytic plant body. So the gametophytic plant body dependent on the sporophytic plant body. The gametophytic plant body is the sporophytic plant body absorb the food material, minerals through the food, through the food by using the penetration. So minerals and nutrition are absorbed. Is that clear? Foot is a well developed tapering end into the apex like I said, the tapering म्हणजे टोकदार end and penetrating into the gametophytic plant body, minerals and nutrients. Next one is the seta. The seta is erect म्हणजे straight, stout, well developed and become a slightly twisted. At the maturity, they help in the dispersion of the spore in all directions. Why they are in twisted? Because they help in the dispersion of the spores in ऑल डायरेक्शन म्हणजे एव्हरीवेअरमध्ये काय करतात, स्पोर डिस्पर्शन करायसाठी ते ट्विस्ट झाले असतात. आफ्टर मॅच्युरेशन काय होतात, स्पोरोफाइट इज अ ट्विस्टेड. सो स्पोर्स आर एव्हरीवेअर इन ऑल डायरेक्शन ऑफ द थ्रू मूव्स. सेटा इज इरेक्ट, स्ट्रेट म्हणजे सरळ, इरेक्ट अँड स्टाउट, वेल डेव्हलप्ड अँड बिकम ए स्लाइटली ट्विस्टेड. बिकम थोडंसं स्लाइटला असं काय झालेलं कललेलं आहे, स्लाइटली ट्विस्टेड्स. The maturity help the dispersion of the spore is the mechanism of the dispersal of the spores in all direction. Is that clear? Next, last part is the capsule. The capsule is erect, elliptical, green, erect, elliptical, green. Capsule is a capsule containing the spores present as capsule is containing the spores. The spores is very important for the production, very important for the formation of the new individual plant body. This capsule is erect, elliptical, green, early stage of the development. Early stage of the development they are green because they are presence of the chlorophyll in the surface of the very well. Presence of the chlorophyll so called as so green in nature. Is that clear? Capsule is erect, elliptical, green in early stage of the development due to the presence of the chlorophyll in the surface of the very well. The sporophytic is autotrophic in nature. Sporophyte is generally autotrophic in nature because the presence of the chlorophyll, they are own food material, so they are cannot be depend on the another food material because they are generally autotrophic. The capsule is thick in middle region and symmetrically tapered into the base and apex. Capsule is a middle layer is a thick, bulbous, thick is layer, and apex layer is a tapering, and a base layer is a basal part is a tapering, upper part is apex part is a tapering. Is that clear? Thick layer middle layer ला कसं आहे, thick आहे, bulbous आहे. Is that clear? There is no operculum, no theca, and no apophyses. Apophyses, theca, and operculum is completely absent. So is a very important simple genera of the Takakia, other than the funareals, polytracheals, pogonatum. Another one is the Andreobria sprygnum muscle. Then is a simple genera of the Takakia because the absence of the operculum like structure, absence of the theca structure, absence of the apophyses, the peristome teeth always completely absent. The stomata on the surface of the capsule is also absent. In this other sporophytic plant body, presence of the stomata on the surface of the capsule. In this case, containing the absence of the capsule, absent of the stomata in capsule, absence of the surface stomata. Is that clear? Next, this is a diagrammatic feature of the sporophytic plant body. Is a apex part is a tapering, basal part is a tapering, and middle part is a thick. Thick means जाड. असं कसं तुम्हाला जाड दिसतोय. Thick is there. Another one is the foot. Foot कसा आहे तर straight आहे, erect आहे, stouted आहे, straight, erect, stouted. After maturation they are turned into the in next diagram मध्ये ते काय झालं थोडासा टर्न झालेला आहे. ते दिसते ई डायग्राम मध्ये थोडासा टर्न झालेला आहे बिकॉज द डिस्पर्शन ऑफ द स्पोर्स इन एव्हरीवेअर. This is the foot. Foot is a completely deeply situated into the gametophytic plant body because the absorption of the food materials as well as water असेल, minerals असतील as well as the food material असेल, they are autotrophic in nature. The autotrophic means स्वतःचं स्वतः in completely depends on the own food material. Is that clear? The foot is a in young conditions archegonia is stalked. Is that clear? Next, the sporophytic plant body seta is straight, elongated, and capsule is a bulbous capsule. Capsule is a middle layer is a thick, apex layer is a tapered, and base layer is a tapered. This is a vaginula is there. Vaginula is the base of the foot. Then seta, columella, and capsule. Columella means lid, calyptra means outer covering of the lid cell, also known as the lid cells, opening of the capsules. After maturation, the calyptra is removed, then the spores are dispersed into everywhere. In young condition, large sporophytic plant body is colored in green in nature. After maturation, is color removed because the absence of the stomata layer in surface of the stomata. So after maturation, the calyptra are removed and the spores are liberated through wind cell, water cell, liberated in everywhere. The following in different substrata, they are the formation of the new population of the Takakia. This is a calyptra. Calyptra is a simple structure, is a tapering end. Calyptra is a seta. Is that clear? Simple genre of the Takakia. काही अडचण असतील तर नंतर तुम्ही विचारू शकता. सिंपल जनरल आहे टॅकाकिया. टॅकाकियाच्या 2 स्पेसीज आपल्या इंडियामध्ये फाउंड होतात. व्यवस्थित वाचा. काही शंका असेल तर विचारा. थँक्यू.